Reverend Norb. I didn't know I was going to get my picture on TV today.
Well, you are, and you look fabulous for bright and early on a Saturday morning.
I didn't mean to endorse a supermarket that has not paid for endorsements, but whatever, Hammurabi, whatever. I'm just pleased as punch to be here.
As am I. So we're going to do a quick job of running down what the rosters for these teams are today, because that's about how awake I am. And then we can talk a little bit more about what to expect.
Let's do that.
The number 14 ranked arch rival Roller Girls. We've got 00P5 is Party Foul. 1057 is She-Ra Powers. 1138 is Chublaka. 1900 is Cloak and Drag Her. 299 is Shimmy Hoffa. 33 is Jamheiser Bush. 4 is Mayor Francis Slayer. 400 is Brickyard. 48 is Brick Tater. 500 is K Grant. 530 is Reinhardt. 68 is Swanson. 8100 is K Sieber. And M2 is Mighty Mighty Boston. You want to take Steel City for us?
Well, somebody's got to, I tell you, from the great state of Pennsylvania, but from the Wisconsin side of the mountains, it is the Steel City Roller Derby, Steel Hurtin. We've got number 10, that's Ada Bloodlace. We've got number 25, that's Ellie McKell. Number 3 is Red Rumbler. Number 30, with an asterisk, is Tina Frey. 32, that's 2 to the 5th power, that's Rock Hard Candy. Number 4, that's Tootsie Roller, not to be confused with the skater of the Fox Cities Foxes of the same name, but spelled differently. Number 45 is BB Basher. Number 5, Hurricane Heather. Number 511, Chocrates. Number 6 is Snot Rocket Science, not to be confused with just plain old Snot Rocket. Number 814 is Leanne Grohl. 82, Bone Crusher. 909, as opposed to the one after 909. That's Poppin' Fresh. Number 94 is the Kraken. D34D, that's Nick Rofiliak. And number 0, that's Dakota Slamming.
Very nicely done, Norb.
I do what I can.
You sound way more awake than I am.
It's the atomizer of Pepsi Max that gets me going.
Well done. So we are about 20 seconds out from the start of this game. And we want to say a special thank you to Hinckley Design and Production, who are running the stream for us this weekend, which is free, that you are watching right now. Hinckley Design and Production is a longtime supporter of Roller Derby since about 2008, providing live video production services and bringing you the live broadcast of Brouhaha. You can support free streaming Derby with your DVD purchase at hinkleyproductions.com/brouhaha, and let's take it away.
All right, on the... By golly, I'm going to get this right, on the notorious RED Jammer line, that is number 814. In the yellow of the Steel City Roller Derby is Steel Hurtin, that shall be Leanne Grohl. And in the black of the arch rival Roller Girls All-Stars, that looks like number 400, that should be Brickyard.
That is correct. It's going to be fun with Brickyard and Brick Tater, recently transferred to arch rival from Bay Area. We now have a jammer duo of brick-related names.
Arch rival look like they picked up a number. They've accumulated numbers. Like a big glob of rubber cement. They've got like a Harmony Killer Brews.
Yep, came from Minnesota.
Obviously would not be adopting a Minnesota Twins / Washington Senators ball player name if she was not, a resident of the area. But never mind. Never mind that. Never mind the airy persiflage. We're here for roller derby. Hammer Abbey, can you explain to me what the heck's been going on with arch rival? Like, why are they just stomping and throttling opponents? Like, what is it? Just an influx of talent? I mean, they've gone berserk.
They have. They really, really thoroughly beat Ohio yesterday here at Brouhaha, which was a big win for them. I think it's they've been coming up. Like, it's been happening for a while, but then they got sort of a good critical mass of some new talent and things like that. But I think the program has been working towards this for some time now. It's impressive.
All right, we are off, and things are underway. Brickyard tries to take the inside. Brickyard nudged to the outside. Brickyard around to the outside, and she's out and through, and Brickyard appears to be your lead jammer, arch rival Roller Girls.
There's two packs moving very, very quickly right now, pretty spread out, which is interesting to see early in the game.
And Brickyard coming up. She has passed one member of the Steel City Roller Girls. Past two, I beg your pardon. Fingers don't lie. 2-0 is our score early on in the first jam.
So that's first blood to arch rival very early in this game. A very, very fast-moving pack. Just give you a clue in, if you are tuning into the first time to the stream here, you may be hearing some phantom whistles in the background. The two tracks at Brouhaha are very close together, separated only by a very large curtain. So it is common to hear whistles from the other track, but just keep an eye on the action that you're seeing on your screen, and you'll get a good sense of what whistles are ours.
And speaking of ours, on our notorious RED Jammer line, and now off it, I believe that's number 48. That is Brick Tater for arch rival, and she is going up against, was that number 32, Rock Hard Candy in the yellow of Steel City?
That is correct, and that's going to be Rock Hard Candy trying to work her way up the outside there through that pack of arch rival. One of the arch rival blockers being called on a penalty. She will head to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
And we have first lead jammer of the early morning for Steel City. That is number 32. That is Rock Hard Candy. She is your lead jammer.
Fun fact, I have the actual score. The arch rival versus Ohio game yesterday was 367 to 41.
It's kind of a nail biter. he said with some sarcasm. So 3 points for Steel City there, going to be 3-2. We are seeing both teams right now playing things pretty tight to the vest right now. They're getting what they can and calling it off.
Kind of feeling each other out at this point in the morning. Not to make it terrible, that came out wrong, but testing each other out, seeing how the teams play each other. Steel City also played yesterday. They played against Santa Cruz, lost that one 155 to 222.
Santa Cruz, a team I'm interested in seeing later in the day, but on and off the notorious RED Jammerland, that's number 68 for the arch rival Roller Girls in the black. That is Swanson. And for Steel City, did you get the number of that train?
That is going to be number 6, Not Rocket Science, jamming for Steel City, getting a big hit on the inside line there from Reinhardt, but able to pop back up very, very quickly, run around the outside line, and she's going to pick up lead jammer status for Steel City.
I'm not sure how she did that. I saw everything gunked up at turn 2 and suddenly shooting out like a veritable snot rocket of science. It was, in fact, snot rocket science. A little bit of a parade of arch rival Roller Girls now to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. But 4 points scored by Steel City. Going to be 7-2 right now. Touchdown versus a safety. 27 minutes to go in the first period.
So Steel City turned things around pretty quickly there, now with a small lead at 7-2. 27 minutes left in this first half of the game on the Derby Laces track number 2 here at Brouhaha in fabulous Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And back on the notorious RED Jammerland for the first time this morning. That's number 814. That's Leanne Grohl in the yellow of the Steel City. She's going against number M2. That is Mighty Mighty Boston for the black of arch rival. And Mighty Mighty Boston, as soon as I can say it, she is your lead jammer, and she is a good half rotation in front of her opposite number of the Steel City Roller Girls. Steel City Roller Derby.
There you go.
And a nice jammer hit there by the Steel City defender. No points for Steel City.
We've got it looks like I'm going to eat my words, never mind. Oh, yes, no, it is a track cut on Arch's jammer.
Well, that did not work out as planned for Arch Rival. It's going to be it's going to be 7-5 right now. Arch Rival cut the lead to 2 in a tightly contested game thus far, 3 points scored. But it is going to be a power jam right off the bat for Rock Hard Candy, number 32 in the yellow of the Steel City Roller Girls.
Given yesterday's game scores, I had very little idea of what to expect from this game, but so far, very, very evenly matched teams.
If you would have asked me... helmet cover has gone off. That it's going to be a back block indicated on some malefactor or another, and it's going to be a lead jammer for Rock Hard Candy, who reestablishes her jammer head covering properly.
Just tried to push her upper body through that tight seam and managed to pull off the cover for her trouble.
And gets through. That ought to be, let's count the fingers, that is a grand slam, says Stabby McDoodbro, the jammer referee. That is 5 points for Steel City. Steel City now has 12-5 lead, and more points forthcoming, one might imagine. That is not only that, it is a Rydell Skates grand slam, and that's the best kind.
Absolutely.
Whistles are blowing, but those aren't our whistles, ladies and gentlemen. Mighty Mighty Boston now out and through. She's on her scoring pass. Points still being scored, so a little bit of time to work with for Rock Hard Candy, but that time has elapsed. 2 more points scored for Steel City. They're going to bulge that lead out to 18. Now, like Alice Cooper said, still 5 points for Arch Rival. 13-point lead for Steel City. Didn't see that coming.
That was a nice big hit at the very end of that jam. Thought maybe that there was a penalty in there. Was going to ask the refs about it, but...
Not me. I trust them implicitly. 18-5 is our score. 24.5 minutes in the first period. And we have got back on the notorious RED Jammerline and now off of it. That's number 400. That's Brickyard for Arch Rival. Arch Rival in the black going up against
Hurricane Heather.
Hurricane Heather.
I'd know that hair anywhere.
She's a stalwart jammer for that team for quite some time, but lead jammer is going to go to Arch Rival courtesy of Brickyard.
Hurricane Heather still trying to make her way through the pack as the Arch Rival jammers are able to recycle up in front of her, reform that nice tight rotating wall of 3 and then 4.
And that's going to be a Rydell Skates grand slam for Brickyard and the Arch Rival Roller Girls. Arch Rival in double digits, looking to cut this lead to 3 if possible. People tripping over all manner of arms, limbs, and things of this nature. Hurricane Heather out and about. She's on her scoring pass, but there's a second Rydell Skates grand slam for Brickyard. It's going to be 18-15, lead cut to 3.
Hurricane Heather almost losing her jammer cover there on that pass as well. I don't know what it is about Steel today, having a hard time keeping the covers on their helmets.
Well, luckily nobody is sponsoring the jammer covers because they're obviously of inferior construction.
So that is going to be Leanne Grohl taking the jammer star for Steel City.
And that looks like the Bricktator on the Rydell skates. I beg your pardon, on the Notorious RED jammer line for
there we go.
That other team.
We have so many great sponsors this weekend. It's hard to keep track.
We do. We just can't stop effusing about them. And lead jammer is going to go to arch rival courtesy of the Bricktator. Bricktator can take the lead. Should she make a particularly successful scoring pass here? Oh, my goodness. Spins around the two remaining defenders. Gets through, calls it off. That's going to be a lead change. Going to be 19-18, just like the year they ended World War I in favor of arch rival.
Nice historical reference. That was an important year. Bricktator, of course, as we mentioned before, is a recent transfer from Bay Area. Not a bad pickup for arch rival.
No, that didn't suck.
No, no.
And on the Notorious RED jammer line, that's going to be number 32 once again in the yellow for Steel City. That is Rock Hard Candy. She is going up against number 68. That is Swanson in the black and the pink. Yes, arch rival Roller Girls won World War I. Just
we are off to the races here. Rock Hard Candy looking for that outside line. She's got one to beat on arch rival up near the front as Swanson's still trying to make her way through the back of Steel City's blockers, and it is going to be lead jammer status for Steel City on this as Swanson gets held up by these two jammers in the back, recycled back, forced to come back around. One to beat, it's not rocket science, and she is around and away.
And Nick Rofiliak taking a seat in the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box as fingers are held for Steel City. That is 3 points there. Going to be another lead change. 21 for Steel City and 19 for arch rival.
I feel like you should be able to play a game of cards or something at least when you're sitting in the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
Well, Steel City does have 21.
Oh, nicely noticed. So that's going to be Snot Rocket Science, number 6 on the line for Steel City, wearing the yellow.
And it's going to be Mighty Mighty Boston wearing number M2 for the arch rival Roller Girls All-Stars.
So it's a 3-on-3 at the moment as each team has one player in that Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
Lots of sideways agitation. Lead jammer is way in the back. Well, lead jammer is actually behind the Notorious RED jammer line, and it belongs to arch rival. Jammer in the lead belonged to Steel City. Everything gobbed up at turn 2 now. Everybody moving in unison right now. And out in the inside, and I don't know how the heck she did that, but lead jammer and out and about, that's Mighty Mighty Boston. How did she emerge from that pack?
Just found an inside line open for her. Just kept looking for it, kept pushing, kept jumping back and forth, and made it work.
Wow, sizes up all 3 Steel City defenders before her. Gets through 4 points. Nicely done there.
Nice juke kind of to the outside, just cut through the kind of at an angle. Right through all those three blockers who weren't super tight together at that point, was able to take advantage of the speed of the pack and how spread out they were, and bounce through pretty quickly, grab those points.
Yeah, it's going to be another lead change, 23-21. We have ourselves a humdinger in the early stages of Saturday morning. 20 minutes and change to go in the first period. Returning to the Notorious RED jammer line. That is going to be number 400. That is Brickyard in the black of the arch rival Roller Girls. She is going up against number 814. That is Leanne Grohl for Steel City in the yellow.
Both jammers trying to push through the pack here, but it is going to be arch rival out in front with lead jammer status, but not by much.
We'll see how they play this one. Brickyard being harangued and harassed. Let's see if she can get a little separation on Leanne Grohl before the whatever hits the whatever.
Both packs moving very, very quickly now, recognizing that trying to hold their points away from the jammers as they are so close together. Smart transition move by both teams just to kind of speed it up and
yep. Brickyard gets one, calls it off. That's about all you can hope for there. It's a 24-21 3-point lead, and we have ourselves a timeout. I think we have a timeout. No, we don't have a timeout.
Nope. Phantom Muscles for the other track.
I beg your pardon.
Just got to keep an eye on those referees if they're not doing anything.
Well, they never do anything anyway, the referees.
Oh, no.
I didn't go there.
I'm telling you.
And on and off the Notorious RED jammer line. It's going to be multiples of 16. It's going to be number 32, Rock Hard Candy for Steel City in the yellow, and it's going to be number 48 for the Bricktator in arch rival. But it's going to be number 32. That's 2 to the 5th power. That's Rock Hard Candy. She's your lead jammer, but again, not by much.
Bricktator really leaning into her to try to take lead there. Wasn't able to do it, but was able to kind of, and knocks her out to the outside. A little jammer on jammer action.
That is going to cause an early end to the festivities. Obviously, a defensive call off there by Rock Hard Candy as she was destabilized
We like to say a 0-0 jam is still a victory.
I like to say it's like Dick Dastardly and Muttley's number on the side of their car in the wacky races. But
I will take your word for it.
I'm weird. I eat paint chips. Returning to the notorious RED Jammer line for Steel City, they are now trailing by 3, as they have been for the last jam. That is number 5. That's Hurricane Heather. By her hair, ye shall know her. She is going up against in the black, number 68. Or that is Swanson of arch rival. Swanson takes the outside. Hurricane Heather gobbed up on the inside. Tries the middle. Tries the outside. Arch rival in place. Everybody in place. And emerging out and about. And your lead jammer for arch rival. That is Swanson.
Interesting to see arch rival with just 3 blockers on the track right away, dedicating 1 blocker to playing offense for their jammer, leaving just 2 to hold the other team's jammer up front. Worked for a minute, but now they've also they've shed another blocker to the penalty box. Steel City having some serious penalty trouble now, as the box getting rather full. The Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box getting rather full.
I tell you, there's as little occupancy, and that my announcing cohort is a Rydell Skates Grand Slam for the arch rival Roller Girls. As I was trying to work in, Hurricane Heather, by the way, is now out and about. She's on her scoring pass. 4 more points scored. That's going to be a big one for arch rival. Arch rival trying to put a little breathing room between Steel City. 33-21. Now it's their score. 17-17. Our time of day in the first period.
This is very clearly to Arch realizing that this is going to be a very back and forth game. So we're going to have to do these really tight call offs. Be very, very careful about how they play. The score going back and forth so much. If they want to open up that lead, it's smart to just do 1 or 2 scoring passes, call it off as quickly as possible, keep the other team from scoring. We do have a timeout.
That's
called,
Steel City's.
Yep, by the yellow team. So I will take a minute here, because we have so many wonderful sponsors, and I would like to give them a shout out real quick. We've got Potawatomi Hotel and Casino sponsoring our penalty box, so we get to mention them a lot this weekend. You can play, stay, and get lucky at Milwaukee's #1 entertainment destination. They have table games, dining, shows. There's a hotel. It's all here, only at Potawatomi. Play all day, stay all night at Milwaukee's #1 entertainment destination and luxury hotel.
I wanted to go see Ace Frehley there, but it was sold out.
Oh, you win some, you lose some. We've also got the Orthopedic Institute of Wisconsin. Dr. Eric Peifel of the Orthopedic Institute of Wisconsin and MOSH wishes you a safe brouhaha weekend. They're all here for your injuries on and off the track. You can contact them at theorthoinstitute.com.
And it looks like the teams are somewhat ready to go. We've got referees skating into position. I believe whatever consternation has occurred has now elapsed. So I will tell you that on the notorious RED Jammer line, that's number 814. That's Leanne Grohl in the yellow of Steel City. She is paired up with number M2. That's Mighty Mighty Boston of the arch rival Roller Girls All-Stars in the black and the pink.
Both teams kind of rolling forward to the pivot line there. We're going to have a nice old school jammer start here with a running start at the packs with just 1 blocker on the track. Hurricane Heather tries to stop Arch's jammer, but gets hit to the inside, goes down, and arch rival going to pick up lead jammer status.
Yeah, Steel City's not doing themselves any favor with that parade to the Potawatomi Bingo and Casino penalty box. However, Leanne Grohl is out and about on her scoring pass. Points already being scored. Mighty Mighty Boston, she steps out of bounds, flirts with the track cut, doesn't get it. Very well done. 3 points for arch rival by the skin of her teeth.
And Steel City jammer tried to push through at the end there. Big burst of speed. Wasn't able to pick up any points before the whistles blew.
36-21 is our score. That's 6 squared versus 3 times 7. 15-point lead right now for arch rival. Arch rival will be sending to the notorious RED penalty box. That looks like number 400, Brickyard, in the black of arch rival. And she's going to be going up against number 32. That is Rock Hard Candy in the yellow of Steel City.
And that's going to be, yep. So Brickyard through with lead jammer status. Not too hard, just kind of blows through that pack. Picks it up for arch rival.
Arch rival kind of gives up the inside line, about half a rotation in there, and that allows Rock Hard Candy to emerge. We'll see how many points the arch rival can score before the encroaching Rock Hard Candy forces a call off.
Oh, some big hits in that very, very fast pack.
Well, what do you know about that? That's 3 points stolen by Steel City. Arch rival kind of gambling and losing there. Arch rival scores 2. Steel City sneak out 3, so that is a net gain of 1 for Steel City.
Which she could have done. She passed one of the Steel City blockers very far in the back before she went.
It's going to be 4 points for Steel City. We got a finger correction. What do you know about that?
I don't know much about that.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm
not a referee.
That's a pretty good 90 seconds of work for the Steel City Jammer. I'll tell you what, 38-25.
So that's not rocket science, taking lead jam for Steel City on this. Pass Bricktator out there for arch rival, still getting held up by that pack, but now breaking free.
And half a rotation separates the two jammers. It's not rocket science. Just breezes through, glides through, gets 4 points. She gets a bunch of phantom points due to the players in the Potawatomi Bingo and Casino penalty box. That is going to chop a nice little hunk off there. 4 unanswered points. 38-29 is our score. Lead down to single digits for Arch Rival.
Just about 14 and a half minutes left to go in the first half of play here on the Derby Laces track number 2 at Brouhaha.
This is the track that parties the hardest. Derby Laces track 2.
Track 2.
Yep. I know it. And on the notorious RD Jammer line, that's number 814 in the yellow. That is Leanne Grohl. She is paired up with number 68. That is Swanson in the black. But no sooner can I say it than Leanne Grohl emerges from the pack. Lead Jammer, Steel City. Steel City making a nice little resurgence here. Yeah,
a couple of Lead Jammer statuses in a row here. And some, even when they didn't have it, pulling out more points than the other team. Leanne Grohl just sort of tiptoeing up that inside line to get Lead Jammer status and pushes her way through the inside again. While Arch's Jammer still trying to get out of the pack here. Takes a bit of a tumble on the inside line, giving Steel a chance to recycle a couple of blockers up in front of her.
Not only that, but Steel City picks up a Rydell Skates Grand Slam and is, well, was flirting with another until the Jammer for Arch Rival emerged from the pack. Going to see how many additional points picked up. 3 more points picked up. That's going to put it to a 38-36, 2-point game. That's a single-point game. Holy Schneikes.
A good save, Norb. So, fun fact, no Lead Jammer streak for either team lasting longer than 3 in a row so far in this game. So very, very back and forth, and that reflects in the score that we've been seeing, just kind of going back and forth in terms of who's in lead and how much by, and this is an incredibly close game. First thing here in the morning at Brouhaha. That's going to be Hurricane Heather with the star for Steel City up against Mighty Mighty Boston, who tiptoes, turns her hips on the outside line, comes running through to grab Lead Jammer status for Arch Rival, continuing this this trend of no trend in Lead Jammer status.
No trend. Never mind, I'm trying to make reference to the band No Trend, but it's going to be a 5-point. That is going to be a Rydell Skates Grand Slam for Mighty Mighty Boston, and Arch Rival needed that. The lead was actually cut to 1 point while we were talking about how wonderful our sponsors were instead of 2 points. That's another Grand Slam. Suddenly, Arch Rival are laying the hurt on Steel City. 10-point unanswered jam thus far for Arch Rival. Arch Rival's defense really clamping down. Hurricane Heather trying to clear out some space, but she can't because they don't have a jammer on the track as far as I can tell. I'm looking for a starred helmet covering on Steel City, and I don't see one anywhere.
I suspect Hurricane Heather has it in her hands at the moment.
Luckily, we have intrepid eyes on this situation. It's another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. 15 unanswered points right now.
This is a huge jam for Mighty Mighty Boston. Nice chance to open up the point differential here for Arch Rival. Something they're going to need. And we do have a successful helmet pass.
Yeah.
But just too late. The whistle's calling it off, so...
Successful enough to force a call off, but not after, not before there's was that a 25-point unanswered jam? 24? 24 unanswered points for Arch Rival, so whatever bleeding that star pass stanched, it was too little too late. They were trying a Band-Aid when they needed a tourniquet, I tell you. 62-37 is our score. That shall be a 25-point lead. You know that's 5 squared.
I didn't know that, but now I do. That's going to be not rocket science wearing the jammer cover for Steel City, but it is Arch Rival out in front with Lead Jammer status with is Brickyard?
That is Brickyard, I tell
Thank you.
Arch Rival in the black, Steel City in the yellow, or gold, no matter how they slice it. And Brickyard's going to get through. She's going to call it off. Arch Rival starting to go to work now. 4 unanswered points.
11 minutes left in the first half of this game, and yes, this is kind of the first time we've seen a substantial opening of the point differential between these two teams. Arch Rival taking that big last jam, and now they've got a little bit of cushion. Going to try to do some surgical work here. And
I mean, given the way Arch Rival has played this year, I think once you give I think it's very dangerous for Steel City to give them any manner of leeway, and my goodness. The Arch Rival juggernaut. It could be unleashed right here. On and off the notorious RD Jammer line for Steel City. Looking to get back in this one. That's number 814. That's Leanne Grohl. And Lead Jammer, however, goes to Arch Rival once again. That is courtesy of number 48. That is the Bricktator. Bricktator's a symbol. Inside line, yielded to Bricktator. Going to spin around, get her hips around, get all 4 points. Nicely done again by Arch Rival. 70-37 now. Arch Rival feeling it.
Fancy footwork there by Bricktator to get through that. And nice work by the Arch Rival pack, holding back one of the Steel City players, holding that point, holding that goat, making it much easier for Bricktator to come through and grab a couple points, call it off very quickly.
rapidly moving first period. We're under 10 minutes now, but it's 70-37. That is a 33-point lead for arch rival on the notorious REG jammer line for arch rival. That's number 68. That's Swanson in the black. That is number 68, Snot Rocket Science
Number
in the
6.
yellow.
You're giving her an extra.
What did I give her?
Extra.
We got a skating out of bounds. That, oh my goodness, it is going to be for Steel City. It's going to be a Sakatumi power jam because of a skating out of bounds kind of thing.
This will be a nice opportunity for Steel City to try to close that point gap. It's not rocket science, a very effective jammer, and if she can get some help from her friends here. But she's coming up against a full complement of blockers for arch rival. And there we go. We're going to get a little bit of help from her friends here, trying to play some offense, try to get her through. But so far, arch rival doing a really good job of shutting down this Sakatumi Power Jam opportunity for Steel City.
You can color the Sakatumi Power Jam opportunity already shut down. Arch rival's jammer back on the track. So that's either a testimony to the effectiveness of arch rival's defense or the ineffectiveness of having your jammer take on 4 blockers at once. However, that is a Rydell Skates grand slam for a Snot Rocket Science. 5 points for Steel City.
Well, these days with the game where it is now, huge hit to the inside there on Snot Rocket Science, takes a dive. That
is a well-placed pelvis, courtesy of Kay Sieber, number 8100 of.
Well-placed pelvis. This is a heck of a compliment in roller derby. But where the
That's
sport is now
anywhere.
in terms of the strategy, it is absolutely the case now where even some of the best jammers in the world, I watched Bonnie Thunders jamming for Gotham yesterday against Minnesota, just absolutely getting shut down by their defense, and it takes offense to get them through. Even those really wonderful jammers, you need help from your friends now because we've just got these super tight defensive formations that just rotate constantly. We like to call them the amoeba of death.
The amoeba of death. I'm going to write that down.
Very hard to get through. No matter how good you are. So offense becoming a very important part of this game again.
I heard that's how you score points. 2-dozen-point lead for arch rival. Steel City cutting into that. Do we have any important things we have to say on camera?
We have so many important things to say. We've got Sakatumi, so they're sponsoring our Power Jam, so we're going to mention them a few times. Sakatumi sells fun, funky socks with tacos, cupcakes, ninjas, mustaches, unicorns, and other things magical. With over 200 different sock designs, there is something for every personality, from punk rock to peacock, and everything in between. Where would you land in that, do you think?
I did not realize that the two were separate.
I was going to say my punk rock's pretty peacock. So, there you go.
I can't go anywhere with that without getting weird. On the notorious RED jammer line, whatever that stripe of tape is called, that's going to be looks like we have a false start. Well, whatever. It's going to be a lead jammer is going to go to arch rival. That is Mighty Mighty Boston. And she's wearing the black of arch rival. Number 5 is Hurricane Heather. I believe she's the jammer of record for Steel City. You can correct me if I'm incorrect.
You are correct, and she's the one who picked up the full star penalty and failed to yield, so did get sent to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. This is one of those tricks with all those whistles coming from next door. It does become very confusing if you don't watch closely the hands of the officials on the track for which whistles are yours.
It's kind of it just underscores the importance of jazz hands in today's sport.
Jazz hands have never stopped being important.
Man, speaking of important, knifing her way a solo through the Steel City defense, getting muscled to the outside by number 45, BB Basher, but out and through with another Rydell Skates grand slam. That is Mighty Mighty Boston of arch rival.
So now almost double the points of Steel City arch rival, opening up their lead a little bit more. But Hurricane Heather back on the track now for Steel City. She's able to get through pretty quickly there.
Hurricane Heather, a veteran jammer. I mean, she certainly knows the tricks of the trade. You can't stop her. You can only hope to contain her.
Absolutely.
However that works.
Mighty Mighty Boston was sort of hit to the outside there, looking to see whether she needed to call it off or not. Came back in, thought about it a little bit more, and brought things to a close after picking up 3 more points, keeping Steel City scoreless on that jam. All right,
83-46 is our score. 7 minutes in the first period. Returning to the notorious RED jammer line for arch rival, enjoying a lead of approximately 37 points. That is number 400. That is Brickyard. Going up against in the yellow of Steel City, that is number 814. That is Leanne Grohl.
Oh, and it's Brickyard. Just shoots through that sort of middle outside line and picks up lead jammer status for arch rival. Leanne Grohl with the helmet cover in her hand, but does make it through the pack to give chase. Puts the helmet cover back on.
Oh, and stumbling through an almost an apex flop, but no such flopping going on. 4 points scored by Brickyard. Brickyard doing an excellent morning of jamming, I might say.
It's very, very polite and formal of you. So 87-46, arch rival still in the lead here after a lot of back and forth earlier in the first half. In this first half of the game, finally now a little bit of a cushion for arch rival to work with, but Steel City certainly not out of this by any means. That's going to be Snot Rocket Science number 6 on the line up against Bricktator for arch rival.
And we got Snot Rocket Science. She is being absolutely beleaguered at the rear of the pack. Arch rival maintaining complete control. She has not even crossed the pivot line yet, has not Snot Rocket Science. She has been lapped and is lapped. And I beg your pardon, lead jammer. She has not been lapped. I'm obviously confused by the spellbinding mad whirl of roller derby. But Bricktator is your lead jammer and now is in danger of lapping the Steel City jammer.
Snot Rocket Science holding her helmet cover in her hand, pulled it off. This is what we're calling one of those helmet cover stashes. Well, it wasn't really looking to hand it off at any point, but perhaps just to confuse the other team about what her intentions
she's
were.
Confusing the announcers, but it has been a Rydell Skates Grand Slam already accumulated for arch rival. If there's any manner of effective deception going on, it has not actually taken root. That is 4 more points. 9 unanswered points here for arch rival. 96 like 96 tears by question mark in the Mysterians for arch rival from the great state of Missouri. 46 for Steel City from the great state of Pennsylvania.
Fun fact we should mention, number 400 for arch rival, that would be Brickyard, has had 6 jams and 6 lead calls in her favor so far this game. So
that's not bad.
Yeah, 100% lead declaration is nothing to sniff at. So that's going to be Hurricane Heather taking the jammer star for Steel City.
And there's number 68. That's Swanson in the black of arch rival, on and off the notorious RED jammer line, which I keep wanting to call the penalty box.
Well, it was for a long time, and they've changed up their sponsorship. So.
And we have a skate not bounds penalty on Swanson. That's going to be a Sakatumi Power Jam for Steel City, who could not have asked for this to come at a better time.
So now playing some coordinated offense, they're trying to get Hurricane Heather through this pack, but arch rival again doing a really nice job of continuing to just recycle up in front of her. And now unfortunately Steel City losing one of their blockers to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Hurricane Heather just trying to bulldoze her way through this pack, and here comes the cavalry, seeing if they can break her free. Still just grinding away at this pack. Really impressive defensive work by arch rival. Hurricane Heather goes down, pops back up. Going to try this again, and so far still an effective penalty kill for arch rival.
Indeed it is for the Potawatomi Bingo Casino. Dislodges its jammer inhabitant. That is Swanson. Swanson out and about on her scoring pass, with Hurricane Heather still gobbed up in the pack. Now we've got another jammer star in hand thing.
She's handed it off to her pivot. That's number 10. That is Ada Bloodlace, who gets hit to the inside there by arch rival blockers and recycled back.
Well, the one person we can tell is wearing a jammer star has just scored another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. That's 5 more points for arch rival. This one not going the way Steel City might have thought with that power jam earlier.
There's a little bit of a change of fortunes for them in the second half of the first half of this game. After so much back and forth and tight play, arch rival really managing to open up a lead. That's going to be another successful scoring pass. That's one of those Rydell Skates Grand Slams for arch rival.
And we flirting with a third Rydell Skate. Oh my goodness! Major hit by Mayor Francis Slayer is going to free up another Rydell Skates Grand Slam for arch rival.
Again, just excellent defensive work by arch rival, doing a really, really good job of continuing to recycle, even when they get blown apart a little bit by the offense from the other team, just immediately snapping back together and just holding those jammers, killing those penalty opportunities, the power jam opportunities for them, holding on to their lead really effectively.
I mean, I've got to say, I realize that St. Louis is, for the last, half century or whatever, has not been a destination location, but they appear to have attracted enough talent and stars from other places that they've got it going in both phases of the game. Their offense, their defense, yep. They are for real.
I have to shout out, though, St. Louis has some really fabulous attractions. They have a wonderful art museum.
I love St. Louis.
And you can go up in the arch in an elevator and go to the top. And
I knocked on the side of the arch, and I thought it would go tung, 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 but it was real hard. It just went click, click, click.
Yeah, I think it's a structurally pretty sound.
111-46 is our score in favor of arch rival from St. Louis, Missouri, as opposed to Steel City from Pittsburgh, Pennslemania.
There's fun facts about St. Louis with your announcers.
That's
today.
what they used to make sweet tarts.
Right. All right. So we've got a timeout called. I'm sorry. That's an official review happening at the moment. So as soon as we find out what that'll is about. We will let you know. But we can talk a little bit about some of our other fabulous sponsors this weekend at Brouhaha. Brew's Skate Noose, the original over-the-shoulder roller skate holder. We have over 50 colors and patterns to fit your team, your league, or your personality. If that isn't enough, you can contact them for more customization options. You spend a lot of money on those skates. Don't shove them in a bag full of sweaty gear. Your skates hate that. Get the original over-the-shoulder roller skate holder. Keep your skates aired out and show them off with Bruised Skate Noose. Online at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or bruisedsn.com.
And here's an oldie but a goodie. Rydell Skates. Unmatched quality, unmatched performance. That's Rydell Skates.
I never get tired of hearing it.
And
back to the action. Mighty Boston. Again, just that signature move, just kind of dancing up the outside line there. Comes through and grabs lead jammer status for arch rival. That was an official review that was basically being used as a timeout, by the way. So.
Well, that's good to know, because I wonder about the psychology inherent in such things. 4 more points scored by Arch Rival as the Steel City Jammer springs free. Jam is called. Arch Rival pretty much just going into cruise control right now at 138, like that Misfits song, to go in the first period. 115-46.
Just a minute and a half left in the first half of this game. It'll be very interesting to see what Steel City is able to do with the remaining time, and if they can use the halftime of the game to sort of shake things off, come back out strong again in the second half. And
I mean, I don't know exactly what you plan for. You know, Arch Rival is they just got it going on. What can you say?
They do, but Steel City, again, proved themselves to have a really solid game early in this first half, and I feel like it's been mostly penalties that have been troubling them. That is going to be a forearm call, unfortunately, on Steel City's jammer headed to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
That's going to lead us to a Sakatumi power jam for Arch Rival. And that is going to be Brickyard. She might just ride this first half out into the sunset right now with 30 seconds of unabated scoring. Dashes this way, dashes that way. Hurricane Heather taking a seat in the Potawatomi Bingo and Casino penalty box. Things starting to unravel for Steel City as we near the waning seconds. Going to be a Rydell Skates Grand Slam for Brickyard and Arch Rival.
Steel City with just 2 blockers on the track now. Again, having penalty problems filling up the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. So 2 blockers can do a lot to stop a jammer, but it's not ideal. And we do have another star pass handed off to number 6. That's not rocket science. Still holding the cover in her hand as she deals with the front 3 blockers from Arch Rival.
I don't know if Steel City can spare Snot Rocket Science as a blocker. She was doing a good job up in front of that pack. Going to be another 4 points award for Arch Rival. Now they got her with the jammer cover in her hand, trying to figure out if she's going to jam or get out of the pack or block or what the heck she's going to do. This is playing into Arch Rival's hands. That is going to be a Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Period clock at 0. Got 30 seconds left on the jam clock. Going to be kind of a good jam for Arch Rival, so to speak.
Yeah, unfortunately, Steel City's blockers, so watching their jammer so closely. Oh, nice attempt at an apex jump, but stopped short there.
That is going to be a real nice jam for Arch Rival. 4 more points scored. I think that's going to take Arch Rival to almost a 100-point lead on Steel City, which we did not expect in the first. Well, still got a couple seconds left. I beg your pardon. Going to be 4 points for Steel City and matched with 4 points for Arch Rival.
So she does get a final 4 points for Steel City before that. Before the whistle. So that's the first half of our game.
Going to be a 92-point lead.
Yeah, 142 for Arch, 50 for Steel City. That was quite the change of fortunes from like the good, solid first half of this game. Things have turned around quite a bit. Going to be interesting to see what happens in the second half here on Derby Lace's track number 2.
Absolutely. Do we have more stuff we have to say?
Well, no, we'll just come back in a little over 9 minutes, and we'll talk to you a little bit more and get things going for you. But we're going to take a little bit of break.
See that we do. And we appear to be back at Derby Laces Track 2, whatever you want to call it, rink, track, whatever it is, here at the beautiful, what they're calling the UWM Panther Arena as a UWGB Fighting Phoenix, a rival in the Horizon League. I cannot call it that. I just want to call it the Mecca, which is what it was back when the Milwaukee Bucks played here before they moved across the street.
Also currently the home of the Milwaukee Brew City Bruisers are hosts for this weekend at the 6th annual Brouhaha.
You may remember this venue from such things as the 2013 Women's Flat Track Derby Association Championships.
I do remember it well. The hall was full of some of the most intense noise I have ever heard. In those final two games, it was the Bay Area versus Gotham and then Texas versus Gotham. I could feel the power of the sound of the crowd pushing in on my eardrums during that. It was intense.
Not to mention the championship game of the Division II thing between Santa Cruz and Jet City, but that was then, this is now. Let's run down some important things that happened during this 143 to 50 point lead taken by arch rival. As far as penalties go, the only player who's really in any kind of penalty trouble is on Steel City. That is Red Rumbler. She has got 5 penalties. With 3 penalties for Steel City, we have Allie McKill and Nick Roll-Filiak. And with 3 penalties for arch rival Roller Girls, that is the most anybody there has. It's Mayor Francis Slayer and Reinhardt.
And fun facts, both for Steel City and for arch rival, top 2 jammers are tied on either side. So Brickyard and Mighty Mighty Boston both sitting at 51 points so far this game for arch rival. And then over on Steel City side, we got Rock Hard Candy and Snot Rocket Science both at 21 points apiece.
And just to give you a sense of the scope of that, that's 3 times 17 for what are they called? Arch rival, and that's 3 times 7 for Steel City. That's how the math shakes out on that. It looks like approaching the Notorious RED jammer line for the first jam of the second half. That's going to be number 400 Brickyard for arch rival. She is leading or tied for leading all scorers with 51 points. As you so succinctly said, she will be paired up with number 814 Leanne Grohl in the yellow of Steel City. Leanne Grohl has got 8 points. She is the only person not named Rock Hard nor Snot Rocket Science that has scored points for Steel City. And I wonder if she's in relation to old-time Derby star Bill Grohl.
Oh, good call. That would be interesting. But anyway, so we are heading into the second half of this game. 143 for arch rival to 50 Steel City. Doesn't really reflect how close the game was at the very beginning through most of the first half of the game. And arch rival coming out strong here, going intent on maintaining this lead with a lead jammer status to start things off.
Yeah, back and forth lead changes for the whole first half of the first period. Now arch rival opening up and, well, Brickyard is not taking any chances. She's going to call it off before anybody scores any points. They call that a Leaster when we play Shotskop around the family table.
Arch rival took the lead in Jam 9 of the first half, but it was still very, very close. Steel City kind of nipping at their heels back and forth for a long time, but was able to really open things up in the second half of the first half. That's a weird sentence to say, but that's how it goes. Bricktator on the line for arch rival. I almost said Bay Area because that's where she came from.
And it looks like that's number 6. That is not Rocket Science. I almost said Kansas City Roller Warriors because it's not Rocket. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Lead jammer is going to go to arch rival. Second lead jammer dumb of 2 jams in the second half. And it looks like, oh my goodness, above and beyond that, it is going to be a Sakatumi Power Jam.
Is that a blocking with the head penalty going to Snot Rocket Science? Going to spend some time in the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Just
Rydell Skates Grand Slam has been usurped in the interim, and perhaps another one to come here on behalf of arch rival. And another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. No lead in roller derby is insurmountable at the half, but if arch rival have start this half off with some big jams, and they appear to be doing that, it's going to be real hard for Steel City to come back from this one. Oh, my goodness.
Reversal of Fortune's Bricktator picking up a low block penalty. Going to go to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box just as Snot Rocket Science was coming back to the track for Steel City.
Going to be a socket to me, a Snot Rocket to me power jam for Steel City and a Star Pass. Are we still calling it a Star Pass, or did somebody think of a different term for it?
That was a Star Stash. Snot Rocket Science took it off her helmet, but did not pass it to the pivot. It's a strategic choice sometimes to just do that and make the other team think that you're going for the Star Pass so that they then look to block the pivot instead of you, and you can break out of the pack more easily.
And it looks like that is a Sakatumi Power Jam for Snot Rocket Science. We'd like to credit Late Night Lyle for inventing the term Star Stash, and we will give him a nickel every time we use it. Another Grand Slam and a a Rydell Skates Grand Slam at that.
And Hurricane Heather going to pick up a penalty and head to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box, leaving just 2 blockers on the track for Steel City. It's not rocket science, also going to pick up a track cut and head back to the penalty box and give Bricktator another shot at a Socket to Me Power Jam. Just as the whistles blow, she was asking for 3 points. Looks like Arch Rival picked up 4 at the end there. Not yet seeing any fingers from Arch Rival's jam ref to see how many points she got.
Got an official review in the offing here. Just so we're straight, it is a Sakatumi Power Jam for Arch Rival, which could lead to a Rydell Skates Grand Slam because the jammer Steel City is in the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
Nice rundown.
I'm telling you. And
so we do have an official review happening on the track right now.
And that gives me ample time, if I may cut you off, to say,
absolutely,
when injury strikes, you have a choice. Choose ATI Physical Therapy, the official sports medicine provider for your Brew City Bruisers. To experience the ATI difference, visit ATIPT.com or stop into one of their over 19 Milwaukee area clinics for a complimentary injury screening. Ask your doctor about the company that is taking physical therapy to a higher level. ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
That was intense.
Well,
I didn't know if I needed to duck from some of those fists you were throwing. It was
Would you like to borrow my safety glasses?
those are fantastic Packers-themed safety glasses. It's good to come to these things prepared. You never know what's going to happen.
I just try to offset Val's Bears cup.
Oh, I see. So we're just a little announcer-friendly rivalry.
It's not friendly. I'm just trying to shut her down.
Unfriendly sports rivalry. I don't know anything about other sports. Just roller derby.
I know one thing. Say goodbye to you untied skate laces. Derby laces stay tied tight and where you want them. Get yours at derbylaces.com. Try the new Spark Metallic Skate Laces by Derby Laces. Super strong and super shiny. Get yours at derbylaces.com. Derby laces are available in 25 different colors. That's 5 squared. Derby laces tie you up but never tie you down. Get yours at derbylaces.com.
I'm going to. After that emphatic endorsement, I pretty much have to. So we are still we're still in the official review. It looks like things might be winding down. We're going to get some word about what's going on the track, but I would like to take the moment to remind you that the 2015 International WFTDA playoffs are fast approaching. You can watch the best teams in the world compete for the glory of the Hydra. Mark your calendars. Brackets and teams will be announced July 15 at WFTDA.com. So that official review was Steel City challenging the track cut call on Not Rocket Science, but that call was upheld. The review is not retained, and we are right back to the action.
And Swanson looks to be lead jammer for Arch Rival. Swanson on the Sakatumi Power Jam. And if you've never been to a roller derby bout at the Roy in St. Paul, Minnesota, which is by the way, that is a Rydell Skates Grand Slam. You owe it to yourself. You really got to go there. Got to go there for championships.
That is where championships are going to be. The Roy is a beautiful venue.
Great venue.
And Minnesota Roller Girls will be wonderful hosts. So that is going to be another Rydell Skates Grand Slam for the Arch Rival team and Swanson. And we have a star pass happening here, headed off to Hurricane Heather, the pivot for Steel City, making her way through Arch Rival pack. Couple to beat here at the end. Oh, and she does get hit out at the last minute there by 8100. Kay Sieber with sort of a Hail Mary manages to do it still in play. And unfortunately, Hurricane Heather going to come all the way back around while Arch Rival gets another shot at yet another Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
I believe that's 19 unanswered points thus far for Swanson. These gratuitous star passes for Steel City, they're confusing the announcer, at least me, but they don't seem to be doing much for Arch Rival.
Keep up, Norb.
I'm trying. I can't see all this laundry in people's hands. Hurricane Heather once again retreating, helmet cover in hand. There hasn't been a star cover on a Steel City person's head for, like a minute now.
Interesting to see star passes come back into fashion, sort of go in and out of fashion over time through the history of modern roller derby. Weren't really being done for a while, but the last season or two now are seeing them used really very frequently and strategically by teams.
That's a Rydell Skates Grand Slam for Arch Rival. That's 24 unanswered points now. Last year we saw the star passes used often to just cut off the scoring from another team. Now we're seeing all manner of misdirection. Holkey, Smokes, Bullwinkle. That is another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Arch Rival salting this one away.
And so interesting, the defense of Arch Rival so good that even though there were Steel City players just sort of sitting in their pack trying to play offense by setting sort of screens and picks, unable to get any joy for their jammer, defense from Arch Rival just being tight enough and able to reform around them, it was just sort of like, Oh, we've got other blockers in our pack. It doesn't matter. We're going to use them to our benefit. We're going to use them to help shut down their own jammer, and very, very effective defensive work.
Yeah, I mean, Hurricane Heather had that jammer head covering, whatever you call it, in her hand for probably 90 seconds. Never actually got the chance to get it back on her head, but that was then. This is now. That is Leanne Grohl for Steel City. In the yellow, she's out, she's about. She is your lead jammer. Steel City needs that one. Thumbs up to the crowd for Leanne Grohl. All smiles, I tell you.
Mighty Boston still at the back of that Steel City pack, but is able to find an outside line wide open, get through. She'll be coming around to put some pressure on Leanne Grohl, but Leanne Grohl at the front of this pack of arch rival pushes through, taps her hips, and did get her hips past that final blocker at the end, so that is going to actually be a Rydell Skates Grand Slam for Steel City.
All right, 194-69, Steel City.
20.
I'm gonna say a glimmer of hope. I'm gonna say a glimmer of hope.
Well, you never know. You never write anybody off. You never know what's going to happen in this game. So 23 and a half minutes left in the second half of play here on Derby Laces, track number 2 at Midwest Brouhaha. We've got Snot Rocket Science on the line, the notorious RED jammer line for Steel City, and she is going up against
Brickyard, number 400. Brickyard stuck on a paltry 51 points, but now she is lead jammer, hoping to add to that gaudy total. And have another player being sent to the Potawatomi Bingo and Casino penalty box for Steel City. That is a blocker. Their jammer, Snot Rocket Science, skates unabated. 4 points for Brickyard. Brickyard looks to her bench for encouragement. Like, do I call it off or do we just goof off and kill clock? It looks like a call it off is, in fact, the order of the day. Calls it off. 4 unanswered points for Arch Rival.
That's going to be 198-69 in favor of Arch Rival. 4 jams into this second half, and they are going to be sending Rock Hard Candy to the notorious RED jammer line.
That looks like she is paired up with the Brick-Tator, not to be confused with Brickyard for Arch Rival. Arch Rival in the black, Steel City in the yellow and black, like many of their hometown sports teams are. In point of fact, I think all of them these days.
I feel like it's appropriate that a Midwestern Industrial City team does have a couple of brick-themed players on it. Rock Hard Candy getting hit hard to the inside there. Did a nice little back bend as she went down, but seems none the worse for wear. Back in play here, but hit to the outside and recycled back by Arch Rivals blockers, Shira Powers.
And that's going to be a Sakatumi Power Jam for Arch Rival, and perhaps another in the offing. Let's count the fingers. Stabby McDude says, yes, it is another Sakatumi Power Jam. That is 10 unanswered points thus far for Arch Rival. They're up over the bicentennial mark, and number 32 takes the star for Steel City, and that is Rock Hard Candy.
Rydell Skates Grand Slam. You're calling them
what did I say?
You were calling them Power Jams. I mean, it was a power jam. You were correct about that.
I was wrong. It was a Rydell Skates Grand Slam is what it was.
I'm just here to make sure that
You're
we stay
here to keep
on track.
me online.
Yep.
I apologize to every single person in the world.
Everyone.
Each and every one of you.
7 billion or so.
Except for that guy I work with. He's a jerk.
Except for him.
Yep. 209-69. Things looking a bit dire for Steel City right now. They are down by 140 points, if my math is correct. 21 and change to go in the game. On that notorious RED jammer line, that is number 5. That is, in fact, the illustrious Hurricane Heather for Steel City. Hurricane Heather on the, this time it's a Sakatumi Power Jam 4. There is a back block penalty on number 68. That is Swanson for Arch Rival. They are also shedding a blocker to the notorious RED penalty box. Perhaps I spake too soon. Hurricane Heather on the Sakatumi Power Jam for Steel City.
This is a nice opportunity for Steel City if Hurricane Heather has any success with the Arch Rivals' incredibly good defense here up at the front. Put some points on the board for her team here. Nice little spin move, gets her hips around and launches her way through. And she's going to head in.
Grand Slam.
That is correct. A Rydell Skates Grand Slam, 5 points for Steel City, and her coach tells her to call it off so they can start this next one with another Power Jam setup, another Sakatumi Power Jam setup.
Yeah, we have not seen Arch Rival have to, do a lot of penalty killing, but when they have, they've been pretty darn effective.
They have.
They elapsed, they let 5 points go by the boards. They're going to have to start in what's the reverse of a power jam? They're going to have to start in an anti-power jam situation. Is what they're going to have to do.
A full pack and another blocker.
The other
gameplay.
The other people have the Sakatumi Power Jam. They have whatever the reverse of that is, a penalty kill. No, not that. That's not the concept I'm trying to express. But either way, Lee Jammer's going to go to number 814. That is Leanne Grohl of Steel City. So Steel City on sort of a mini run here.
Swanson back on the track for arch rival, though, released from the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Going to be putting the pressure on Steel City's Jammer here as she gets held up in the back.
And Steel City maintaining control of the front of that pack, bridging, doing all that kind of stuff. Swanson out and about on her scoring pass, but Leanne Grohl through. She gets her 4 unanswered points. Nice little jam there for Steel City. 209-78 is our score in favor of arch rival.
And it's... Sometimes words start to come out of my mouth and then they just stop.
You know what? The words that are going to come out of my mouth are going to be Hinckley Productions has been a friend to Derby since 2008, providing live video production services and bringing you this live broadcast of Brouhaha. Support free streaming Derby with your DVD purchase at hinkleyproductions.com/Brouhaha, and that's Hinckley with a C and a K in the midst of it.
Is correct. They have been a long-time awesome supporter of the Mad Rollin' Dolls in Madison. That's where they came out of, and that's where I am from. So shout out to Hinckley. Wonderful people, wonderful work, and we are back to the action on the track.
Mighty Boston.
Mighty Boston in the lead. Not Rocket Science still stuck in the pack at the moment, getting the business from arch rivals blockers there, giving a chance. Mighty Boston able to sort of just duck and weave her way through that pack as everybody was distracted.
Going to be a grand slam for Mighty Boston. That is, in fact, a Rydell Skates grand slam.
Two packs really spread out here with Snot Rocket Science trying to push arch rival in the front.
And that is going to be a second Rydell Skates grand slam for Mighty Boston.
Oh, nice work there by Snot Rocket Science, able to kind of get her hips down and around in front of the blocker in front of her, breaks through.
Mighty Boston looks in the rearview mirror, sees the encroaching Steel City Jammer, calls it off after 14 unanswered points. Going to be 223 for arch rival 78 for Steel City.
We're about 17 and a half minutes left in the second half of gameplay here on the second morning of Midwest Brouhaha. Game got off to a really fast and hard start, and things have not been going well for Steel City since about halfway through that first half. Still playing a hard game, but bedeviled by penalties and several really big power jams for arch rival, and just that excellent defensive work. Really able to break apart their packs, just like we just saw right there off the line.
And Lee Jammer's going to go to Brickyard. That is number 400 in the black of arch rival. I mean, I can't fault Steel City for their effort, but arch rival, they're a team to watch. I tell you what.
And I also tell you what, Ada Bloodlace, number 10, jamming for Steel City right now. This is her first jammer start of the game.
I'll be gosh darn. That was a Rydell Skates grand slam back in there, and that's another Rydell Skates grand slam. 10 unanswered points for Brickyard. Brickyard has jammed a bunch of times. Do you know how many times she has? Brickyard has jammed N times. Do you know how many times she's got lead jammer? N. 100% jammer, lead jammer percentage for Brickyard. Can't get better than that now, can you?
I'm always offended by math that has letters in it.
I'm offended by a lot of stuff.
10 jams. She's had 10 jams.
Well, that would be X then. Roman numerals, that'd be X.
10 jams and 10 lead jammer statuses.
Okay, we have another bewildering star pass stash something for Steel City. The jammer head covering, or whatever the official terminology of it is, in the hand of Ada Bloodlace, who I believe started with it, as you said.
She did. Has not passed it off to the pivot, which would be Hurricane Heather, but there it is over the top and around. And it's passed off, and Hurricane Heather
and it's
able to break
Rydell
free.
Skates grand slam for Brickyard. Hurricane Heather hoping to cut off Brickyard. Yeah, all right. Brickyard gets through, gets another 4 points, calls it off.
Steel City, unfortunately, leaving that inside line wide open. Brickyard able to fly through untouched for that final pass.
I wish I had a stopwatch and I could time the percentage of time that Steel City had the jammer covering on a player's head versus the time they just had in somebody's hand.
That could be yet another stat that we asked them to track.
There could be N, there could be X, there could be all kinds of stuff.
So that is going to be number 814. Oh, I can
That's
read numbers.
Leanne Grohl. She's wearing yellow because she plays for Steel City. She's going up against the Bricktator. She wears black because she plays for arch rival. She wears number 48 because she likes 4 dozen. And the number of crayons that come in the Crayola box, that's bigger than 24 but smaller than 64. And she is lead jammer because she's awesome. And Bricktator skating about pivot 4. Steel City heading to the Potawatomi Bingo and Hotel and Casino penalty box.
And that is going to be a cut track penalty on Leanne Grohl for Steel City heading to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box while still carrying the jammer cover in her hand. So just 3 blockers on the track for Steel City now and a Sakatumi power jam for the Bricktator and arch rival. This is not what Steel City needed at this point in the game.
Oh my goodness. 1 leg, 2 legs.
And that's going to be a no pass, no penalty because the person who hit her out also stepped out of bounds.
Well, actually, it's going to be a grand slam. Therefore, it's a no penalty, but it is a pass, apparently.
Oh, maybe she didn't step out at all.
Well,
Hard to tell from my angle. I apologize.
It's going to be another Rydell Skates grand slam, second in a series. Now we have the Leanne Grohl briefly had the jammer helmet covering on her helmet for Steel City. Now has taken it off.
And she has passed it off to the pivot for Steel City, who is trying to get through. The pivot is, that's going to be 25, Allie McKill with the jammer cover in her hand. A bit of a pileup on the inside line, some whistles blowing, and unfortunately a low block call on Allie McKill, who's going to head to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
With the jammer head covering in her hand for the second straight occurrence.
No, there was it was the original jammer who went off the first time.
Right,
with
but
the
I mean,
penalty.
you know.
But yes, with supposed to being on their head.
The last 2 jammer penalties for Steel City have occurred with their jammer, or the person with the jammer thing in their hand. And
that's correct.
That's another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. I think they might have to rethink this. I don't know. That's just me. Who knows?
I'm not a coach. I'm not a bench coach. I'm just here to tell you what is happening.
I don't really even understand roller derby. I know it's 285-78, so that's an over 200-point lead for arch rival. Arch rival, like Steel City's jammer helmet covering, had this one in hand.
That was a 38-point jam. Holy moly.
That was a 38-point jam. Say it like you mean it, by golly. And other things I mean. The Field 59 video platform powered the live streaming technology behind the 2014 Roller Derby World Cup in Dallas and now powers the live stream for the 2015 Midwest Brouhaha. Power jam your derby bouts with Field 59's video solutions.
Swanson on the track with the jammer star on her head for Arch, but hey, look at that. Steel City's jammer comes in from the box, grabs lead jammer status. Why not? That's going to be Allie McKill jamming for the first time in this game.
And it looks like Swanson going to attempt to keep the scoring pass to a single scoring pass. Let's see if Steel City just goes for points above everything else. They do not. Oh, they
did, but didn't grab any. I think she thought her hips had gotten past at least one player. But still smart. Call it off before the other team's able to do any damage. And, I mean, you got to give credit. Coming out of the penalty box at the beginning of a jam, still able to grab lead jammer status.
Yeah, Steel City's still playing this game like it's within their reach, which I'm going to say under 12 minutes, it's probably not.
But hey, we're all here to play roller derby.
We are here to play roller derby, except me.
And they're doing that. Well, yeah. Right.
I'm here to watch people play roller derby.
I get to play tomorrow. But yeah, it's always impressive. It's like sometimes you're not going to win the game, but you can still win a jam. You can still learn things. You can still do amazing stuff on the track. And Steel City's still out there cranking it out, gutting it out against arch rival. And hey.
Speaking of amazing things, Mighty Mighty Boston, lead jammer for arch rival. She was flirting with the Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Isn't going to get it now because number 32, Rock Hard Candy, is out for Steel City. Timeout being taken by Steel City. A few more points being scored by arch rival. That's going to give me time to say stuff, and the stuff I want to say is that Turnaround Skates is your source for roller derby skates, protective gear, and apparel. They are the official skate tech of the tournament and offer wheel regrooving, bearing cleaning, skate repairs. After you check out our merch, need your name and number on a shirt? I'm going to say that again. After you check out our merch, need your name and number on a shirt? Turnaround Skates has you covered. We have reversible black and white scrimmage shirts for you to take home for only $25, which includes your name and number. Also pick up your bruised skate nooses and Sakatumi socks at the Turnaround Skate booth today. They're our official skate tech.
They are the official skate tech of Brouhaha. Classic Slice Pizza, by the way, if you are in the Milwaukee area. They are your friendly neighborhood roller girl-owned pizzeria serving up huge slices, salads, desserts, and apps made from scratch, specializing in vegetarian and vegan items and the best gluten-free crust in the city. Classic Slice Pizza has been a proud Brew City Bruiser sponsor from the very beginning. Stop in this weekend and grab a slice and a $2 tall boy. Classic Slice is in Bayview and open until midnight, and if you are watching this on the stream from far away, we are suggesting apparently this weekend that you just ask them to deliver it to you by FedEx or whatever kind of service that you want to use, and maybe it'll get there cold, but I'm sure it'll still be very good.
Well, now we mentioned Bayview. We're going to have all the River West people all hacked off at us.
Arch rival, 26 lead jam statuses to Steel City's 12 lead jam statuses. That is definitely why we are seeing this point differential here with 11 minutes left in the game. Arch rival at 288 to Steel City 78. Back at the action here, we have Leanne Grohl trying to push her way through a fearsome 4-diamond of Arch rival. And who is that in the back, Norb?
We saw Brickyard. She got recycled to the back. Brickyard out somehow. She's lead jammer. How the...
Just found that inside line, made it work for her. Sometimes you just got to push and push and push until that hole opens up and you grab it and take it.
I'm slapping myself in the face in disbelief. She was sent way to the back by nice defense by Steel City. Gets through. Leanne Grohl's got the pivot. The help. Do you call it a jammer panty anymore? Do we call it or do we not call it that?
No, we're trying to move away from that to just
the
jammer
star?
Cover, the star.
Okay, well, she had it in her hand.
That thing.
Yes. Speaking of in hand, by golly, starting close and clean on the Notorious RED Jammer line. Notorious by Notorious RED. Smell clean, even if you play dirty. Get it here at Brouhaha at the Derby for All booth or order online at notoriousred.com.
You happen to be in the area tonight, too. Our official after party is at the Pub Club.
I don't know where that is. Lead Jammer does go to Arch Rival, however.
It's apparently within walking distance of the Panther Arena.
Very well then. Brick Tater is lead jammer of record as she skates for Arch Rival, hence the black. She's going to look in her rearview mirror and call it off.
I do love how It's Not Rocket Science always approaches a pack just like she's going to slice through it like a speed skater.
Well, it's happened before. It may happen again. She's going to cleave it like nuclear fission or something of this nature.
Just like that.
Just like it.
296 for Arch, 78 for Steel City. 9:39 left in the second half of this game. Second game of the day on Derby Laces track number 2 here at Midwest Brouhaha.
Once again, the track that party's the hardest. We can't stress that enough.
We are up again. So this is going to be Rock Hard Candy facing off against Samson.
That is Swanson, number 68. We're in Gail Gillingham's old jersey number versus 2 to the 5th power, which is Rock Hard Candy. Rock Hard Candy looking to make a move to get around Swanson. Swanson content to play a little jammer on jammer defense. Don't see why not at this point in time. Arch Rival's got it well in hand. Burns off every last second before she calls it. So a little extra effort expended by Rock Hard Candy to no avail point-wise.
Although impressive, the jammer and jammer is such a gamble for you sometimes, especially if you are in the lead, because sometimes it does not go your way and you end up behind the other jammer and you do have to call it off. So kudos to Rock Hard Candy for fending off that attack, coming around and forcing Arch Rival to call it off before anything could happen.
And returning to the Notorious RED Jammer line, that's number 814 in the yellow. That is Leanne Grohl of Steel City. She is paired up with M2. That is Mighty Mighty Boston. Mighty Mighty Boston has scored 68 points already for Arch Rival. Looking
to do some more as she grabs lead jammer status. Leanne Grohl still stuck in the back of the pack. She's going to hand off that jammer cover to her pivot. It's not rocket science. I should know by the shoulder pad.
It's very Spartacus-like.
I like it.
Gonna be a Rydell Skates Grand Slam. That's going to put Arch Rival over the tricentennial mark. Well, to the tricentennial mark, apparently. I thought I saw 5 fingers being held in the air, but perhaps it's only 4. Trying to get an angle on the thumb. Apparently it was only 4 points, so take back everything I said about the Power Jam. It's only a 4-point pass. 300-78 is our score, and Arch Rival comfortably in the lead right now this morning. Here at Derby Laces Track 2 at the UWM Panther Arena.
And it does look like we have 1 foul out. Steel City's Allie McKill at 7 penalties at this point. Oh, 2 foul outs. My apologies.
Yeah, Red Rumbler started the half with 5 penalties, so it is not a gigantic shock to my nervous system that she picked up the other 2 additional penalties that led it to her falling out. And that is a Rydell Skates Grand Slam. That is courtesy of Brickyard. Brickyard scored 88 points, like the number of keys on a piano thus far. And the jammer helmet covering goes back on and off. It's going to be on the head of Ada Bloodlace as the jam is called off. 9 unanswered points for Arch Rival.
Brickyard and Brick Tater now tied for 92 points apiece for Arch Rival, creeping up on that 100-point mark for this game. Impressive work by both jammers.
Why do they have the two players who have brick as the first syllable of their word have matching scores? It's just going to confuse the announcers.
It's magic. It's just magic.
They're going to lose their identity and be subsumed into the oversoul.
We do have a timeout on the track. I believe it is an official timeout. We are not sure what's happening yet, but we will let you know as soon as we do. So in the meantime...
You got something to say? Because I ran out of mine.
Well, I can just remind everybody once again that the road to playoffs continues here at Brouhaha 2015, and we're hoping more than a few of the teams you see here this weekend will make it to the 2015 International WFTDA playoffs. If you want to cheer for your favorite team at the WFTDA playoffs, the brackets for each location will be announced July 15 at WFTDA.com.
That's like the most exciting part of the entire year when you see the brackets and you figure out your travel plans and so on and so forth. And
I already know that I'm going to Minnesota for the weekend no matter what, but I will be very excited to see who ends up there. A lot of changeover in some of the top teams in this last year. A lot of people sort of moving to different cities. Some all-stars retiring.
Look at arch rival. They benefited from some manner of, job churn, as they say.
Gotham, watching them yesterday, they lost a lot of all-stars after last season. Did not miss a beat, apparently. However, large pool of talent to draw from in New York and a very, very strong program. So still going to be the force to reckon with, the people to beat at the top. But Texas having some trouble earlier in the season against some teams at some of the tournaments they've played at, but still a very, very strong squad. Rose going to be a team to watch. Bay Area, of course, always. But we do have some upstarts making their way up. Denver been very, very strong this year so far.
I'm telling you, arch rival.
Arch rival's doing a great job.
Arch rival is legit. This is a legitimate team.
And Minnesota had some big wins earlier against Windy City and a couple other teams as well. So you kind of never know how things are going to shake out. But these tournament weekends are a really good way to get a sense of things, see how they're going. Lots of games in one weekend, kind of see where the teams are at.
And that's why it's so great to be here at the 2015 Midwest Brouhaha. What the heck's our hashtag? Somebody give us our hashtag.
Hashtag is Brouhaha 2015.
Well, that makes sense.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those places you can go and follow along with people's comments and photos. I've been posting.
I don't blame you.
That's what I do.
If you would have given me this matchup last year, I'd say it's like a toss-up. It would have been like the first half of the first period where Steel City and Arch Rival back and forth. I don't know, pick them. The Vegas odds are probably even.
Yeah, very
right
different.
Now, Arch Rival absolutely just can't say enough about Arch Rival. I am impressed as heck.
I am impressed the heck at the splits the Bricktator just did to stay. To prevent a track cut on the inside line there, got hit out and just sprawled out, but managed to get back in legally. And we've got a forearm call, unfortunately, going to Steel City's Jammer, so she is headed to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box, and Bricktator is going to get her chance at a Socket to Me Power Jam once again. And
she's going to aim for a Rydell Skates Grand Slam in the meantime.
She's got one.
She's going to chase perfection and catch excellence in the process. That is, in fact, a 5-point pass for Bricktator, who has now scored the nearest to 100 times pi as I can think of.
I think it's about to happen, and she may turn over the 100-point mark here as she blows through that Steel City pack with some nice offensive help from her friends, and sure enough, that's going to bring her up to 102 points for this game with another Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
Bricktator herself has outscored Steel City by 24 points and counting.
That is impressive. It's not rocket science back on the track now after her penalty finishes out. She's up against the back of that arch rival pack, getting some help from her friends, but still hit to the inside and drawn back. And Bricktator just threw on that outside line, untouched.
And that is another, if I beg my pardon, that is another Rydell Skates Grand Slam for Bricktator.
It's not rocket science, holding the helmet cover in her hand again here. Common strategy we've been seeing throughout the game. And is she going to hand it off to Pivot? No, fakes it. It's like that football play. I don't know what you call those things where they fake handing the ball off to the one guy and it doesn't happen. We're seeing that now in roller derby. I'm sure there's a name for it, but
What else I'm seeing is I'm seeing that the jammer ref for Arch Rival, that is Stabby McDoodbro, it's like his fingers are stuck in a upright position because he has waved so many grand slams in the course of the last jam that I'm surprised he could actually get 2 fingers down for the 3-point pass with which that jam was concluded.
Do you suppose referees have to do a lot of like hand workouts, those little hand grippy things, just make sure that they're ready to go?
They do that anyway because they're so buff.
Exactly. The buffest.
336-78. Arch Rival comfortably ahead. 4:20 to go in the game. That brings no references to mind. On and off the notorious RD General, and it's number 814 in the yellow. That is Leanne Grohl for Steel City. And that is number 68. That's Swanson for Arch Rival.
Swanson. And I'm going to say Swanson so I don't mess it up again because I apologize.
Like
I
Joe
never want
Swanson
to
on Family
mess up
Guy.
people's names. Not what I'm interested in doing, but that is going to be a lead jammer status. Nice little reversal fortune here for Leanne Grohl and Steel City, but Swanson hot on her heels, not going to give her a lot of room to do damage up front here, but we'll see.
And both teams are going to shed a blocker to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
Oh, and Arch Rival picks up 3 points. Nothing for Steel City. Unfortunately, Steel City's blocker is kind of hanging in the back there, so giving a chance for Arch to score points before Steel City was able to get up to the front pack of Arch Rival blockers to score any points.
And speaking of scoring points, both Bricktator and Brickyard have single-handedly outscored Steel City. Bricktator with 119 on the game, Brickyard with 92. Bricktator actually only had, I believe it was 21 points. Bricktator had 17 points in the first half. Bricktator has got 102 in the second half.
That's been a good second half. That lead jam status in the last one broke a 7-jam streak by Arch Rival to give Steel City a shot at lead, but not this time. This time it is going to go back to Arch Rival with lead jammer status. And, a big jammer hit there.
Lead jammer puts hit on Rock Hard Candy and obtains a Rydell Skates Grand Slam in the process. That's some manner of excellent trifecta.
That's like salt in the wound right there. I mean, fair is fair. Clean hit. Really nicely done.
That's another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. 10 unanswered thus far for Brickyard.
Rock Hard Candy did take off the helmet cover for a minute there, put it back on, found the inside line, and broke free without too much trouble at the end.
Going to try to keep Brickyard to a potential 14 points. Brickyard destabilized out in the back straightaway. She's going to call it up after, that 4 points. So 14 unanswered on that, 349-78. Just under 2.5 minutes to go in this rapidly moving morning bout here at Derby Laces Track 2 in the beautiful UWM Panthers Arena, where the Milwaukee Bucks and the Milwaukee Hawks, who are now the Atlanta Hawks, used to play professional basketball.
Again, I will take your word for it. I do know that the Bruce City Bruisers play here, however.
Truth, they've been playing here for a number of years.
Many years. Your hosts this weekend at Midwest Brouhaha.
That's the first roller derby team I ever saw play, Bruce City Bruisers, back at the old place in Franklin, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah, back in the day. Mighty Mighty Boston. I said it like the name. Mighty Mighty Boston.
Mighty Mighty Boston is a lot better than Mighty Mighty Bostons.
Well, yes. We're going to make someone angry about commenting on that, though, because there are Mighty Mighty Bostons fans out there.
If they're trombone players, I don't really care about their opinion.
Oh.
And we have the helmet covering on and off for Snot Rocket Science, but she scores no points. 4 points scored for Arch Rival. Arch Rival 357 like some manner of firearm caliber. 78 like Psycho 78 for Steel City, and this very well might be our last jam of the game.
And very cheerful jammers out on the line. That's always nice to see. Bricktator going to, why not add some more points to the total here after 119 points on the board this game.
Yeah, Arch Rival not letting their foot off the accelerator. They realize that in today's modern roller derby, it's your score differential is sort of a thing. And Leanne Grohl around on the outside almost has lead jammer. That pivot for Arch Rival beleaguering her. Leanne Grohl, she's out, she's free. She is lead jammer for Steel City.
Nice way to potentially end the game here for Steel City. Steel's been scoreless in 15 jams, so this will be a chance for them to put some points on the board before the clock runs out on this game. Leanne Grohl gets hit to the outside, finds an inside line. Nice little bit of offensive picking work there from her team, and she's going to be through for a Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
Or a 4-point pass, something like that.
Oh, was it 4? I saw a thumb. I apologize.
Those thumbs, there's a lot of phantom thumbs this morning.
Phantom thumbs.
That'd be a good name for a band.
So 4 point scoring pass on that one as she comes around to do some more damage for Steel City, and the Bricktator getting through.
Bricktator's going to have 4 points at this point in time. I wouldn't imagine Steel City is terribly concerned about the amount of points that Arch Rival is going to be throwing up. They want to be throwing up some points themselves. Another 4-point pass for Leanna Grohl. So after 15 scoreless jams, Steel City break off the schneid. Period clock's at 0. Jam clock is under a minute. So we might have 51 more seconds of roller derby, or we might not.
Really, at this point, the goal is probably just to go out big for Steel City. If they can do as much as they can in this last pass and try to give the Bricktator a hard time going through here. Nice defensive work from Steel City. They're going to hit, well, not quite. Tried to hit Bricktator out to the outside line, but she just kind of dug into it, came back in.
If you're Steel City, trading points is not a bad thing, and not even trading points. That is the Rydell Skates Grand Slam there for Steel City. Nicely done. Nice jam for Leanna Grohl.
All right.
One more Grand Slam, and Steel City is going to take it to the century mark. Let's look at the fingers. And that is your Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Steel City with an even 100.
Oh, this has got to feel nice toward the end of the game. After going scoreless for so many jams in a row, this is a nice big way for them to put a cherry on top at the end here and get some good stuff out of it.
Oh, and counting. That's another 4 points. That's 26 points for Steel City. Nice jam to conclude things. Grasp a little something. 3-6-9 like 369, the Bums Drank Wine for Arch Rival. Arch Rival comfortably take this one, but, Steel City fighting to the very end. They
Absolutely.
had that nice jam at the end.
And they had a really good first chunk of the game in the first half there. Had some really tight gameplay back and forth, scoring some lead changes, had really tight defense. And it was really ultimately some of the penalties that started to break them up a bit. And Arch Rivals just incredibly tight. Recycling defense just was not giving any love to the Steel City's jammers when they had a couple of power jam opportunities, weren't able to take advantage of them. And Arch Rival just built that game. I think they sort of got a sense of the other team, figured out where their weaknesses were, and just bowled through them eventually, and took a really, really solid win here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that this game is indicative of any like Steel City losing ground from last year. I think it's just a show of Arch Rival just gaining ground and the strides they've made, and they're a team with which to be reckoned. A
team to watch for sure. Again, with their big win over Ohio yesterday, and now this big win over Steel City. This is going to be continue to be a fun weekend of roller derby. We appreciate you tuning in. You can stay tuned in here all weekend thanks to Hinckley Design and Production on this free derby stream at the 6th annual Midwest Brouhaha. Hashtag Brouhaha 2015 if you want to join in the conversation. We appreciate you being here to watch and to cheer on. And many, many games more today and tomorrow. So,
I'm Reverend Norman, you're Hammer Abbey.
That is correct. Thank you so much.
The end. Thanks for putting up with us.
Come celebrate summer with the Dairyland Dolls, Saturday, June 20th and Saturday, July 11th at the Hartmeyer Ice Arena. Doors at 5, action at 6. But wait, there's more. The Dairyland Dolls will be shaking things up with a special outdoor exhibition bout on Saturday, June 27th during the Festival Food Shake the Lake celebration at the Monona Terrace. Event opens at 5, derby at 6. Come for derby, stay for fireworks. Find the derby in you. MadRollandDolls.com.
Skates is proud to support the 2015 Midwest Brouhaha. We are a Derby-owned roller skate shop in Buffalo, New York. Our focus is providing our customers with innovative and quality skates, parts, and protective gear from all the top manufacturers. Our customers represent a variety of skating styles and backgrounds. Our boutique shopping experience focuses on finding the right skates and gear for you. We also add a bit of style with our fun accessories and clothing. Visit us in Buffalo or online at turnaroundskates.com.
Hi everybody, this is Zach here from Rydell Skates, and we're here to talk to you today about an exciting new product we have. This is our Fit footbed kit. It's designed to help alleviate pain and reduce some soreness that people commonly get while skating. First, let's talk about the Fit footbed itself. It's a high-density foam with a soft top cover on it. It allows for a lot more cushion and support for a safer and more effective skating session. On the back side, there's Velcro components that allow you to attach adjustable arch supports and heel wedges to it, which is really where all the customization comes in. Installed in the footbed is a blue arch support, which is neutral. There's also a red arch support, which is for high arches, and an orange arch support, which is for low arches. Installation and swapping them out is really simple. All you need to do is just peel the Velcro off and then install the new insert. The heel is another area of customization. You can use the included purple heel lift to elevate the heel in the boot, which can reduce heel slippage, irritation, or shin splints. Or you can use the included green heel wedge. It's angled, so depending on the way you install it, it can help correct pronation or supination issues. This metatarsal pad can be installed on the top side of the footbed to help reduce numbness in the toe and ball area of the foot. Getting the proper fit is really simple. What you'll need to do is take your existing insole out of your skates. Then all you need to do is line the two up on top of each other and trace and trim to fit. The Fit footbed kit is available now at any of our authorized retailers. And for more information, you can always visit our website at www.roller.rydellskates.com.
Come celebrate summer with the Dairyland Dolls, Saturday, June 20th and Saturday, July 11th at the Hartmeier Ice Arena. Doors at 5, action at 6. But wait, there's more. The Dairyland Dolls will be shaking things up with a special outdoor exhibition bout on Saturday, June 27th during the Festival Food Shake the Lake celebration at the Monona Terrace. Event opens at 5, derby at 6. Come for derby, stay for fireworks. Find the derby in you. MadRollandDolls.com.
Turnaround Skates is proud to support the 2015 Midwest Brouhaha. We are a Derby-owned roller skate shop in Buffalo, New York. Our focus is providing our customers with innovative and quality skates, parts, and protective gear from all the top manufacturers. Our customers represent a variety of skating styles and backgrounds. Our boutique shopping experience focuses on finding the right skates and gear for you. We also add a bit of style with our fun accessories and clothing. Visit us in Buffalo or online at turnaroundskates.com.
Hi everybody, this is Zach here from Rydell Skates, and we're here to talk to you today about an exciting new product we have. This is our R-Fit footbed kit. It's designed to help alleviate pain and reduce some soreness that people commonly get while skating. First, let's talk about the R-Fit footbed itself. It's a high-density foam with a soft top cover on it. It allows for a lot more cushion and support for a safer and more effective skating session. On the back side, there's Velcro components that allow you to attach adjustable arch supports and heel wedges to it, which is really where all the customization comes in. Installed in the footbed is a blue arch support, which is neutral. There's also a red arch support, which is for high arches, and an orange arch support, which is for low arches. Installation and swapping them out is really simple. All you need to do is just peel the Velcro off and then install the new insert. The heel is another area of customization. You can use the included purple heel lift to elevate the heel in the boot, which can reduce heel slippage, irritation, or shin splints. Or you can use the included green heel wedge. It's angled, so depending on the way you install it, it can help correct pronation or supination issues. This metatarsal pad can be installed on the top side of the footbed to help reduce numbness in the toe and ball area of the foot. Getting the proper fit is really simple. What you'll need to do is take your existing insole out of your skates. Then all you need to do is line the two up on top of each other and trace and trim to fit. The R-Fit footbed kit is available now at any of our authorized retailers. And for more information, you can always visit our website at www.roller.rydellskates.com.
Come celebrate summer with the Dairyland Dolls, Saturday, June 20th and Saturday, July 11th at the Hartmeyer Ice Arena. Doors at 5, action at 6. But wait, there's more. The Dairyland Dolls will be shaking things up with a special outdoor exhibition bout on Saturday, June 27th during the Festival Food Shake the Lake celebration at the Monona Terrace. Event opens at 5, derby at 6. Come for derby, stay for fireworks. Find the derby in you. MadRollandDolls.com.
Skates is proud to support the 2015 Midwest Brouhaha. We are a Derby-owned roller skate shop in Buffalo, New York. Our focus is providing our customers with innovative and quality skates, parts, and protective gear from all the top manufacturers. Our customers represent a variety of skating styles and backgrounds. Our boutique shopping experience focuses on finding the right skates and gear for you. We also add a bit of style with our fun accessories and clothing. Visit us in Buffalo or online at turnaroundskates.com.
Hi everybody, this is Zach here from Rydell Skates, and we're here to talk to you today about an exciting new product we have. This is our Fit footbed kit. It's designed to help alleviate pain and reduce some soreness that people commonly get while skating. First, let's talk about the Fit footbed itself. It's a high-density foam with a soft top cover on it. It allows for a lot more cushion and support for a safer and more effective skating session. On the back side, there's Velcro components that allow you to attach adjustable arch supports and heel wedges to it, which is really where all the customization comes in. Installed in the footbed is a blue arch support, which is neutral. There's also a red arch support, which is for high arches, and an orange arch support, which is for low arches. Installation and swapping them out is really simple. All you need to do is just peel the Velcro off and then install the new insert. The heel is another area of customization. You can use the included purple heel lift to elevate the heel in the boot, which can reduce heel slippage, irritation, or shin splints. Or you can use the included green heel wedge. It's angled, so depending on the way you install it, it can help correct pronation or supination issues. This metatarsal pad can be installed on the top side of the footbed to help reduce numbness in the toe and ball area of the foot. Getting the proper fit is really simple. What you'll need to do is take your existing insole out of your skates. Then all you need to do is line the two up on top of each other and trace and trim to fit. The Fit footbed kit is available now at any of our authorized retailers. And for more information, you can always visit